My first year in Lorraine High, when I was elementary, and they allowed us to be started, I had 2 groups, one on Thursday and one on Friday, and I had 13 boys in each one. And I was doing it by myself. It was pretty tough, but someone started getting me, they started meeting themselves out in school. They want to get out of class. You know, they want to bring something necessary. They want to be in our series, but they want to get out of class. A lot of youth that we work with, and anybody that's an educator here knows that when you talk to them, when they make a bad decision, and you talk to them, they're most likely to think about how it's going to affect them. A lot of them don't care. They feel like I have nothing to lose. So if I do something, it's going to get myself in trouble, or something going to affect me. But that's not right. That's not true. When they make poor decisions, it also affects your families, their classmates, and depending on what their offense is, the community at large.
Anthony Jones, he explained to me, sometimes people are afraid when it says a mentor that it's going to be extremely time consuming. It doesn't need to be that way. We have teachers here, nurses, photographer, fashion designer. You can bring to Men of Courage what your skill set is, what your passion is.
And I'm just excited to be a part of it. For me, it is new. I have done volunteer programs before where I've been a mentor, and there's just there's a need for it. I think it makes a difference.
We usually take the first day to 30 days or so doing icebreakers, and you kind of get to know the kids. There's all kind of activities you can do, but you want to ease into this. You want to bring there, start telling them, because they have enough people in their lives telling them what they should and shouldn't be doing daily. Their parents, school teachers and administrators. Sometimes the courts and probation officers get in trouble. So we try to ease into it just to get to know the kids. So we take that first 30 days for trust building, and then like the next 30 days after that, you kind of get into the awareness, being accountable to oneself, and then at the 90-day mark, you still want them to be aware of being accountable to society in general. And then from there to the end of the series, we work on the personal development plans. So, and it varies from youth to youth depending on what the goals are. So,
programs like this impacted my life. When I was younger, growing up in the inner city of New York, we didn't have a lot of outreach programs or mentors, but a mentoring program that helped inner city kids. So I look forward to diving and helping these kids.
Just to pat ourselves on the back, there are a lot of guys' attendance have improved, the grades improved, and the number of referrals to the principal office was reduced, so it works. But it all came from us being consistent, going in there every week, putting the time in with these young men. One way to get data and to learn and to get your evidence base is the fact that the questionnaires we have for our youth. So for instance, we have a number on them, and all of our mentors, we have a little mentoring manual. And the reason why we do that because, say we get a kid in September, we get them a school year, okay? We'll get him in September and we'll give him a questionnaire at the beginning of the year. Then in May, before they get out for the summer, they have to do the same one. And then we'll take that 9 months from them and we'll compare them to see how their answers have changed.
Having a program like this where, minority men that can relate to us, giving us an option other than the streets or sports.
I'm volunteering to be a group facilitator, so I'm going to give some education to the girls that are interested in being part of the Women of Courage. I may go on to do one-on-ones, but I'm going to be there listening, talking, establishing a relationship with them, and then hopefully in the event that there's an issue that they need some guidance, I can give them some input and guide them in the right direction.
I plan on giving back to the community as far as not only being a mentor, being someone that the youth can come to in their time of need if they have any questions on life. College, I'm college educated as well, so those who have aspirations of going to college, military, being retired military, I'm there for them as well.
These are some of the best practices for mentees, but these are things that the mentees should be doing for themselves. But it's up to the mentor to introduce the mentees to these. There's a bunch of things going on, but you can focus on achieving your learning goals, expecting, the mentee should expect to drive the relationship. So we don't want to drag them along, they should actually drive it.
I've been focusing a lot on helping others, kids, family. I think for me, the main goal and my main love and passion is helping families to become better themselves and then so we can get the future kids to grow up, you know, safe and with more knowledge.
We actually just got a grant for race equity inclusion through Ohio Department of Youth Services, so we're going to be taking a leadership role and bringing people together to figure out how we can do better with these numbers. As a result of our misdemeanors, and I'll wrap it up with this, as a result of our misdemeanors and the heavy amount of misdemeanors in this county, we created diversion. So at our assessment center, every misdemeanor case that comes through our court gets funneled through our assessment center now. Misdemeanors don't even walk into the Lorraine County Justice Center anymore. They don't go in front of the scary magistrate. They don't go through the security. When that charge happens, the prosecutor sends it to us, and within 3 days, we've got the family in front of us.
One thing we found out, and I found out in my experience, if a young man or a young woman is not honest in the mentor relationship, you know, you're gonna have problems as a mentor. So you get that by building trust with them.
I've worked in other programs with kids, and I can say I got an email probably about 15 years ago with a kid that I had worked with that had cancer. I got an email from his mother, and she had indicated that he, towards the end of his life, he had talked about me a lot. And that what I did with him in the program that he was involved with made a really big difference. I had no clue that I made that big of a difference with him.
Parent involvement is key. It's very key when you're mentoring. Anybody's actually mentoring there, they know that, you know, if you're just mentoring a young man or a young woman, but you're not staying in touch with the parents and let them know what's going on in progress, you know, you're pushing the uphill battles. These are some of the things, you know, why mentor, mission, purpose, vision, goals and objectives, roles and responsibilities, selection criteria, serious implementation, and documentation, and resources, and serious evaluation.
A lot of times where you get people who come in and they want to say, oh, I'm here for kids and I'm helping kids, but then you look down upon them or you judge them for certain circumstances. Kids are going to make mistakes all the time. Our job as mentors and as generation of people is to provide, show them different things, show them a different outlet, and teach them in that, you know. And when they make mistakes, you pick them up and then show them the path where they messed up at. Because we all human, we make mistakes every day.